Okay, hi, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Jeff and Paul from Strangers with Guns. How are you, lads?
What's the crack?
Welcome to the show. And my wonderful co-host as well, Danielle.
Well, that's the story.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. So, Danielle, we just go over to you. You've been benefiting from the move to Limerick. You've been at how many gigs now?
So I was at Tombs with Hashmaker, and that was good crack. And I was at Crack Sabbath with Host there last weekend, and that was fucking class. Actually, both gigs were absolutely outstanding. Top class. Like Tombs blew us all, everyone away. Everybody was like, Jesus Christ, for a band that's been through a pandemic, they were so tight. And Hashmaker sure were great crack.
That was their first gig, wasn't it?
First gig, yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Really, really good fun. Good energy on stage, and I wasn't sure how, like, as in the two of them would work together because they're two very different bands, but they really complemented each other, and it was outstanding. And then Host and Crack Sabbath always bring it. Like, they're always outstanding.
I've never seen them.
And I hadn't. Have you not?
No, me neither.
They're absolutely highly recommending them. And Host was so good that one of the lads was like, "Is that actually Ghost on stage?"
It depends on what he was smoking, yeah.
But no, he was just drinking, and we were like, "No, lad, it's a cover band." He was like, "I was wondering." I was like, "Weren't they in Slane there not too long ago?"
Jesus Christ!
Where were the gigs on? Was it Dolan's?
Yeah, Dolan's. So one was in the Casbah and the other one was on the Warehouse.
I don't really get Ghost, to be honest, but
no.
They look cool as fuck. They look cool as fuck.
And that's the biggest problem with me. They look cool, but the sound in Eurovision, rock.
Rats is a good singer.
Yeah, they've got some great tunes, and Dolan's is all done up. They've done a great job inside. There's a bar upstairs now, like in the Warehouse and everything. It's class.
That sounds class. Yeah. We've played Costables down there once, but that was the only place. The Milk Market.
Where'd you play, Jeff?
The Milk Market bar down there.
Dirty Casuals in Steiner.
Oh, that's a great lineup. Fucking hell.
Steiner sorted that out. We still have to get the boys back down to Dublin. But
we do indeed. I see they're on there. They were supposed to be on the Siege, aren't they? If that's going ahead after today's announcements.
Oh man, yeah. Today's announcements, like, have everybody just been going, what the fuck does that mean for the live gig industry? Because it's so confusing.
But it's still see it, isn't it?
Yeah, but it makes no sense because nightclubs are allowed open and do what they want, like, but you're supposed to sit down at a gig.
You're supposed to. It's funny, you can dance in a nightclub, but then when you want to drink, you have to go sit down and wait for it to be brought over.
Yeah, it just makes no fucking sense. Like, it's ridiculous. Like 92% of the population are vaccinated. Like, so, like, pubs could have easily removed the mandatory table service, and just limit entrance just by having the vaccine passes,
I just say they can't arrest us all. So if everybody ignores it, then fucking good luck to them. Like.
Yeah, it is a really annoying situation, and I don't know what, say the likes of late bars now, again, that have live music, even just the ones that will bring in cover bands, they're all going to be still wondering what they can and cannot do. So maybe they might clarify it in the next few days, I don't know. But the Siege is, it is compromised anyway at the moment, so.
It's a rough one.
Yeah. So by the time this episode will go out, we're either going to have one of the best nights ever, or just fucking sitting around going, "Wow, it could have been great." Like, I don't know.
Do you have somewhere to crash in Limerick now that Danielle's living there?
Oh, Danielle is going to be hosting, I'd say, plenty, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. I think we've got like about 6 or 7 people staying here that night. So,
Get a second fridge and hide the good one.
the last time those people came down here, we got complained. So that's,
really?
Yeah. So let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Okay.
We've been on the best behaviour since, and we've worked it out what rooms to go into and not to go into. So we're
the curtains up and soundproof it.
Yeah.
Are you in an apartment block, is it, or something?
No, we're in a housing estate. So
okay, so there's neighbours either side of you, is it?
Just one side, but like, it's a really nice family estate. So like, they just seen all the boys come in with all the beers and like all the metal gear on, like, and they were just a bit like, what's going on inside there? And we made the mistake of going up to the bedroom that's like right beside theirs and blaring like metal. So probably wasn't the smartest, but we were like really apologetic, and we haven't done that since. So.
Did you invite them in? That might be the way around it.
I don't know, like with the 3 kids and their dog as well. Come on in. Yeah.
So you have been busy, lads, over COVID. I always admire your work ethic. In fairness, like there's a new EP. Is it an EP or an album?
It's a double EP.
It's a double EP.
So we're sending it to reviewers and calling it an album because they only review albums a lot of places, but we're telling everyone it's a double EP.
Yeah, definitely a double EP, yeah. We have an album coming next year.
Right.
That I'm more excited about than this EP, but...
Yeah, the thing is, the album is like, it's really metal, and then this kind of, people might hear this and be like, why did you have them on the show?
Nah. We've always been championing ye, haven't we, Daniel?
I know, we definitely massively appreciate it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Now, the title, right? Now, how's your is your dad working? Has that, like, you have been feeding that out to certain sources of media, and it's, I don't know, are you just taking the piss, or?
It's not, we have a different title now. The title now is Become a Pope.
Okay, right.
we were back and forth on the both of them, but like, Become a Pope just kind of looked better
on a t-shirt.
On a t-shirt, it looked better on a t-shirt, which Jeff can explain to you the meaning behind that.
Definitely. Both of them have potential for great t-shirts, actually, both titles, but explain Become a Pope, Jeff.
Well, there's this kind of mock religion that was started in the 60s called Discordianism. And they kind of like, so the woman on the front is the goddess on the front, is Eris, and that's who they worship. And the whole religion kind of basically believes that chaos is like the natural order of things, and, you know, our minds perceive order, but it's not really there. It's just things like that. And Become a Pope was, they printed all these Pope cards in the 60s and 70s, and they'd all just christen each other popes. And I don't know, I know they sold like 5 million cards doing it. So I'm like, maybe some old hip will remember, and they'll see Become a Pope and they'll see Eris on the front, and they'll be like, we want
we want the mad bastards, like the random mad bastards that know what that is what we want.
They printed they sold 5 million cards. Is that true?
Yeah, they were all like, so once you're a Pope, like, so say I could christen everyone listening to the show as now a Discordian Pope. And it's kind of like, so it's kind of like, it's a mock religion, so it makes a mock religion.
Sounds like something that'd be on Netflix now, isn't it?
Well, maybe. There's a few documentaries on it. There's a few real good like speakers on it, like Robert Anton Wilson, and I know Tim Leary was loosely associated.
Tim Leary, dropped plenty of acid.
All the radical thinkers in the 60s and 70s, like.
And is there one or two songs that reference that on the double EP?
No. We have an which I think you played, but
Fuck the American Dream, great song,
I don't know, even every Sunday kind of mocks religion a bit there.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, I suppose religion is definitely one there for metal bands to comment on a lot. And I thought it was brave with Fuck the American Dream. How did that go down, actually? And did you get much views and listens on that with that title?
Well, we actually got it remastered for the EP. Like, everyone on the EP we kind of released it too soon. Like, the mastering wasn't perfect on it, but did okay,
yeah. No, it did the best of all the kind of singles we did. Lots of people liked and shared it, and it got added to a few Spotify playlists, which feels like it doesn't really mean something, but the optics look good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, once you crack 1,000 players and you see all that stuff, like, it looks good to people looking at it, but I don't know how much it really means.
What do you think, Danielle?
I thought it was a great tune. And I definitely was drawn to the title of it as well. Like, you know, it's kind of like, oh, what's this about? Because I didn't know what you were going to throw out next, lads.
They're that type of band, aren't they? Which is always a great thing for me.
Yeah, and I have to say as well, after listening to WP, I love your lyrics.
I appreciate that.
there's
Very
one
important if Daniel likes your lyrics.
Yeah, there was
It
one
will be
that
revealed in
it'll
another
be-
podcast.
I've listened to the forums enough, yeah.
But yeah, no, there was one I actually I got a good laugh off of. Was it I think it's on Dr. Smile. Leopard can't change its spots. Good thing you're not a fucking leopard. I got a great laugh on that one though. Yeah, no, good stuff, lads. Yeah.
Dr. Smile is like, that's a Philip K. Dick reference. There's a
okay.
book, The Three Stigmata of Palmage. I always get it wrong because there was a TV show called The Strain, and they used the main character's name backwards as the main character is this book. So one is Palmer Eldridge and the other is Eldridge Palmer.
Right.
But I think it's the three stigmata of Palmer Eldridge. And there was a computer counselling unit, and it was called Dr. Smile that just gets referenced a lot. So I was like, that's pretty. I liked referencing Philip K. Dick, like, but not in an obvious way, like, just throwing in little things like that.
A lot of Jeff Flavors, he literally just comes up when we're recording as well. I don't know if I should say that, but they're nearly written on the day.
Oh, do, man. Fill us in. Was there a few of those, that made the EP?
They're all this is, didn't there?
Well, the album that's next, the 3 songs we recorded were all on the day after the guitar. All my guitar parts were done, and then I was just scribbling and trying to get it done in time.
Well, a lot of the rappers are doing that nowadays. So.
It's fair to work with deadlines, but for this one, like, we are kind of going. It almost feels like there's a lot of like meme or viral potential stuff on it. Like, I was hoping, maybe all I do is smoke crack and throw bricks at kids. People will dig that, and that would like do something. Or I don't know. There's a couple of songs like that.
I don't know why you keep thinking people, but that's on a T-shirt as well. If anyone wants it, don't think anyone will buy that T-shirt, but it's there.
Some bad father somewhere.
Who did the mastering mixing? Was it Michael Richards or?
Yeah.
Okay, you stuck with him. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, we're his best customers by far. Shout out to Mick.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, he must love your band as well. That he enjoy. I'd say like you're a breath of fresh air. In relation.
It's always stressful being in studio, and it was really good. Like, but we're just never. We can never, like, we live in 3 different counties and work 3 different shifts. Like, we can never rehearse as much as we'd like, and so it does feel a bit, under pressure.
We're not one of these bands that are like super tight. Like, when we like, we're kind of like a bit chaotic, but that's our thing.
Yeah. Where's Ricky? Is he living in what county is he in?
He's the one that lives straight and bang in the centre of Dublin. Who lives 10 minutes from everything.
All right, and Jeff, you're outside Dublin, is it?
Yeah, I'm in Meath now. And
are you really? I didn't know you moved. When did you head out there?
I am just August of 2020.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay. So that's difficult then, obviously, to meet up and practice.
Yeah, and like, I suppose like my job is civil service, which was very handy during the pandemic, but now I'm back into like we all work different shifts, and it's getting a bit messier to keep everything moving. So good thing we've good backlog of material, which is good, but
we still manage somehow, even though we very rarely get to see each other or practice. Or
and Fluoride in the Music, that video. How did that come about? Was it just we'll show up somewhere and we'll film it?
Pretty much. I think, Jeff, well, you came up with the script in like 5 minutes and we just went and shot and
normally I'll shoot an idea or anything, and then he'll go, I like that, and then I'll shoot another one. He's like, I like the last idea more, and then I'll shoot another one, and he's like, what, we're going to do the skating instead? And then I was like, right, hold on, I'll figure something out for this.
we brought a few skaters up with us, and then like there was boys in the park that we shot as well, and then
and of course Daniel, do you realise that the 2 of them died at the end? They were flew off the cliff in the car.
Yeah.
But this is the purpose of tonight's podcast, wasn't it, Jeff?
We had some plan, but we didn't do the preparation. We were going to pretend like, what was the plan? That we were kidnapped.
Yeah. Ricky said, if Ricky said, how are you? I said, I'm just at getting out of hospital, because what saved me in the back of the car was all our unsold merch, cushioned we fall.
That's why my seatbelt.
Yeah, we had a few angles we were thinking of going with it, just because we were going to take a month off after. Like,
we were going to do a full media blackout, but then it just didn't happen. And we have cunts wondering like if
If
People
it
are
was
storing you,
actually
and, like-
true that the car went off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, very believable, lads.
Yeah.
And now just to go dead silence after that.
Oh. And
So we ruined our blackout.
yeah, did we review "Fuck the American Dream," Daniel, on the forums? And we were
Yeah.
hoping for that video with a load of American vintage clips.
Yeah, I
There-
think we did. Yeah.
There's meant to be a video, and there will be a video for that, but it's just we shot a live performance part of it, and then we were supposed to shoot scenes. But the dude we were working with, it was my mate. He normally shoots rap videos, and we'll get it done. There will be a video for that out eventually.
We started shooting it in March of this year.
Yeah,
Because he did run a trailer with an American family, wasn't it? Looking at a TV.
Yeah.
And I was just going, "Oh, this will be class," like, you know.
we had a good build up for that. I think with Instagram, because what happened was I made loads of like about 5 different cover arts, and the boys were like, no, till we got the right one. So then I just kind of posted them leading up. There was a big build up that people were expecting. I think people were expecting a mad video or something.
Mm.
Then there will be eventually.
That was
Yeah,
the track as well on the forums where Evan thought the drums were programmed. Remember?
Yeah.
In fairness to him, they do sound very programmed, but they were just that song in particular got a bit edited. But they don't usually normally edit that much. But
Okay, so you have live on the podcast said that it was done by yourself. Fair play to you both. Evan gets very,
Yeah, well,
Evan
you
is
know what,
very, it's
Evan?
his pet
Good
hate,
Evan.
like, isn't it? Written
it's
program drums. He calls it out
fair,
every
I
time.
understand.
He does. Yeah.
I'd say like 9 out. Like I'd say he's right most of the time. Like you know what I mean? Because well, like I'm the same way. It is like I don't really fuck with the song as much once I find out the drums are programmed. Like especially in metal as well, because they're doing like all these mad crazy rolls and fucking mad crazy double bass, and it's not as impressive if a computer did it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. You'd be found out anyway. Definitely by Evan. He's coming to get you.
yeah.
no, I'd say he's right about like the majority, like 100% of the time. Well, 99.9 bar American Dream. But
Yeah. Do you know what? Let's just talk about Facebook there for a minute, because a lot of people are complaining. I mean, it is an ongoing issue with posting stuff on Facebook, but it's after getting really bad in the last 2 or 3 months for bands to get an audience reach through Facebook. Have any opinions on that or any theories why?
they're just looking for money, aren't they? You have to pay for like it to get boosted.
Jeff?
Is that-
Is Jeff gonna sleep?
That's that meat Wi-Fi there. Wait,
The old meat Wi-Fi, yeah.
yeah, he is asleep.
He's back. Is he?
Oh yeah, well, I've seen all use free is happened to me though, did it?
Yeah. Go on,
Yeah.
Anna. Jeff, what you think?
Anything was it? Yeah, no, it is. They look for you to pay to boost every single post, otherwise it's just not really. It's not performing at all, and it's. I don't know if there's any ways really around
Oh, you're gone, man.
because like I'm gone again.
Go on, start again. It's called editing.
I was just saying you really have to pay for all your reach. It's a bit sickening, especially in 2019 we did a lot of Facebook ads and stuff like that, and now when you post something, it's if like out of 12,000 followers we'll get to like 130 of them.
Yeah.
It's just Instagram we find is a lot more engaging anyway.
We like Instagram a lot better anyway.
Yeah,
That's
I prefer too. I prefer Instagram personally, but the only thing that Facebook has over it is the events. So
yeah.
that's the only thing it has. Yeah.
But again, you know, how rare are they? Well, they're starting to come in now, obviously, with the restrictions lifting.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking pain in the hole to be tied to Facebook that way, because again with the podcast as well, I upload stuff. My preference at this stage is Instagram, but it has the option of sharing it to Facebook. But I mean, it reaches nobody on Facebook anymore. It's just Instagram is where it's at, you know.
And what's funny actually about Facebook is you get abuse on a lot of your ads because people kind of feel like you're spamming their news feed. If you're running ads in certain places, they'll just be commenting what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. Sure, we were doing ads in Chile when that fucking mad shit was going on, and we got a load of grief.
There's people that
we're fighting for our lives there. We don't care about you.
Jesus.
Having a check. I ran an ad in Yastrok, Russia, which is the coldest place on earth. And I just heard some documentary, or seen some documentary, and like I know they have a thriving punk scene, and they like all the gigs over there do really well. And I was like, let's just try ads out there, see what it's like.
Yeah.
And then they just saw like, come over here in the winter, ha ha ha. That was like every comment.
Yeah, you wouldn't be.
Baylor did a tour, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be arriving on with the old Hawaiian shirts and shorts and flip flops over there, Jeff.
There's documentaries on that place. It's insane. Like you'd get frostbite and I'd say in under 5 minutes just being regular clothes.
But like you are actually one of the few bands that have managed, as Danielle was referencing, Tombs and Hashmaker. You're one of the few bands that actually did manage to play a gig twice.
Yeah.
You actually played 2 gigs, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
Tell us about the build up to the Dublin gig.
Button Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the lead here, or Moyana?
Yeah,
No,
leave Paul in there. Go on, Paul. Tell us about your excitement to build up, to practice.
Yeah. It was. Well, we didn't think it was going to go ahead, so we were like, the boys were. I was the only one in the band that was like, it's happening. So the boys were like, nah, it's definitely not happening. It's definitely not happening. I think we practiced once before, did we, Jeff?
What?
Once, yeah. It was one of those. See, what happened was, gigs, like the Button Factory is the only place in the country hosting gigs. And so I was saying to Rennick, I was like, it's not going ahead. They're coming out saying it would be like the end of September and all that.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
but Rennick was like, I knew what would happen. And so the reason we were allowed to play it was they have a theatre license, which allowed them to circumvent the rules and host it under theatre rules. And I was like, so Rennick, you knew that they had a theatre license, which would allow them to fucking circumvent the rules.
I know, like, we should be prepared, but like, no, it's definitely not going ahead. No. And then what? We won practice like in 2 months, like
one practice and then our longest ever.
Yeah, an hour set, like. But we did good. We pulled it off.
What? He had an hour set?
Yeah. No,
there's only one band.
Support, like. It was because we only had like an hour time, so we couldn't get any support or that. So we did the hour.
Fucking hell! Like, sure, your average song is around 3 minutes long.
Yeah, but how many songs did we do, Jeff? Like fucking 16 songs or something?
Oh.
Yeah, like we're up to how many songs do we have? Yeah, we have about 27 songs at this stage, to be honest. So, but we also did a sketch, like, so I kind of made a joke about I dressed up as, I legged it off stage and came back dressed up as
Little Lord Fauntleroy.
And he was gone for fucking about 5 minutes, and I was up on the stage by myself, and I go like, boys, like, do a drum solo, and I was like, no, hold on, he'll be back.
Yeah, I said to Ricky when I was going off, I was like, whatever you do, don't stop playing. And he plays the riff 2 more times and then just stops. And everyone's just looking at Rennick 5 minutes.
That's bass players for you.
And all Ricky had to do was walk off stage and scream. And then when I come back onto stage in my outfit and he just walks up to me and goes, here, what do you want me to do? I was just like, get the fuck out of my face.
Surprised. My favourite thing is when Jeff bombs on stage, like, that didn't really bomb, but
yeah.
I think it did.
So you were doing kind of a stand-up comedy show in between songs, like?
Well, he does jokes sometimes.
What
was that, Jeff? Yeah. This is going to be a nightmare to edit.
No, I just did a soliloquy from Macbeth to fill the theatre role, but then I started getting heckled straight away, and I'd only learned it the day before. And the day of that gig was a disaster because
so stressful.
Like they send us what their backline was, and we arrived at the gig, and they were like, "Where are your amps and all that?" And I was like, "Send us a list of all the stuff you have."
Yeah,
so
we thought they'd have amps there.
Fly home and all.
What? You are kidding me?
None, yeah. And the Button Factory's in dead centre of Temple Bar, so you can't drive down the roads and all that.
Yeah, like the Temple Bar, you used to be able to park down Temple Bar, but now there's all barriers, and like getting the drums at the end of the night and getting all the equipment was such, like, I got moved by the guards about like fucking 3 times, like, then getting the drums out, like.
So, so you arrived at the Button Factory and you never asked that they had the like amps and everything.
We thought they did. They sent us a list.
No, they sent us. They sent us a list of all the equipment that they had, and then Ricky made a stage plan and said, "We'll use these amps, and this is our setup and all that." And then when we got there, none of it was there.
Yeah, it was like, you have to bring your own shit, boys. Like, and so it was it was a mad stressful day, but it was worth it.
So what time did you arrive at, and then suddenly realise Like, what was the kind of time period in relation to you getting back to get all the gear and come back? Was it like?
Well, like my plan for that day was I was just kind of like they said load in from 3:00. Now I think from as any time after 3.
And I was there 3 on the dot, waiting on the cunt. But go on, go on.
But you did that thing you did where you go off and have a joint, and I'm just inside what we said. And so I'm there, and then they go, "Oh, we thought you." Yeah, and so they're looking at me being like, "Oh, like these are late," and I was just like, "You said loading from 3, not at 3." And then, so to get the 2 lads to show up like immediately, and then when we're setting up,
what do you mean? We were there before you.
I was inside at the back, and you were
I was
nowhere to be
packed like
found.
around the side, yeah.
Christ, imagine if there was 5 of them in a band, Daniel. Fucking hell.
Christ.
Yeah. And so I had to get my dad actually to drop in. Like I have a bass amp and a guitar amp, so he drove them in, and then we had to get a trolley and me, him, and then like walk 20 minutes with the trolley and the amps.
Like your biggest gig, literally your biggest gig.
Like. And like
we're a disaster of a band. Like everyone's honest a disaster. Like, well, it works out in the end.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're kind of jinxed, to be honest.
Yeah.
No matter what we do.
Fucking, this is brilliant. This is why I do podcasts. That's true, Daniel. You get to hear stuff like this, like. And you had to organise somebody then to film it as well, yeah.
His mate Paddy, yeah. Paddy don't know you.
Yeah, Paddy my old schoolmate. He's hoping to get work doing videos for bands and all that. So he did us for free basically, and
cool.
We didn't have any live footage before that. And I know when you're trying to get gigs abroad and all, you need something like that. Like you need live footage, so we got a good bit of stuff.
Yeah, we're happy with how the audio turned out as well.
Yeah, it sounded great, looked great as well.
Yeah, the lights look fantastic. And I see actually a couple of bands are playing. I think Fraud are playing there soon.
Okay.
Oh, they are. Yeah, Fraud playing with C. Cult, I think.
Yeah, that might even be supposed to be this weekend, I think, or next weekend.
It's the 30th, is it? For some reason, is it? I think it's a
great venue if you can get it. Like that's why it's kind of hard the idea of going back to certain places, because you have a giant stage, you've got the lights show, you got the smoke, you've got the great sound system, you've got down now. Just for if any bands are playing there and they hear this, there's a backstage that they won't tell you about, but it's class. So go out the stage, go downstairs. There's a big there's a shower in there, there's a toilet in there, you can drink away.
I feel like they probably tell other people, but they didn't tell us. Yeah, we don't want you cunts down there.
Well, that was maybe if you were actually there at 3:00, they would have told you.
Because
they probably have amps for other bands and everything.
Yeah, that's where the amps are.
Because I was out there drinking in the park looking knackered, and I was like, hold on, there was a backstage the whole time. Like,
oh, fucking hell.
Backstage was cool.
So that's the Button Factory. So then you went over, was that before or after you went to England?
Oh, that was after, yeah.
Okay, England, so tell us about England. Something bound to fucking happen to you in England.
No, the funny thing about England was that was another one that only got to go ahead on the 23rd, and the gig was on the 28th.
We were
trying to call Standing Calling. Is there Standing Calling?
Yeah. Headlined by Craig David.
Essentially, like we probably that was probably our biggest whatever, like going to London and all, but we ended up getting so drunk in Hackney the night before. We were in Bates the next day for the gig about 2:00. Well, we pulled the gig off, it was early, but like we were fucking in a hoop.
Jesus Christ. And like
it's all on YouTube.
I tried watching it. I tried watching it. Oh my God, lads. Jesus Christ. As a what would you call it? A tour diary?
That's heavily edited.
Heavily edited, because they wouldn't let us back in the country if some of the shit.
And were you trying to score weed off?
Oh, we did. We scored weed in the end, but
Jesus Christ.
And they still get the updates off your man every weekend.
Yeah. If anyone needs weed in Hackney, so. What's your man's name? Marco or something? Yeah.
Who are you asking me for?
Nico, no, it's Nico.
And you just met him on the street and just fucking started hassling him for fucking weed, is it?
No, I can't remember how we found him. Someone sound gave us his number. I think we asked some skateboarder was just going by and was like, bro, have you got any weed? And he's like, yeah. He gave us a number, and then we met your man.
Fucking hell.
England's handy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you'd think
come
so.
on, let's talk about then. How did you get the English gig, and what was that like playing to?
Well, there's an English booker
God.
that lives. He was living over here, and he just seen the Cans video. Cans video's done more for us than I'd say anything else we've ever done. And now, unfortunately, he only seen it the day before he went back to England. But yeah, after that, he was just like, "Look, I've never contacted a band without seeing them play." But he's like, "I really like that, and like if you're interested, I want to." He tried to get us one or two other gigs for that weekend to make it more worth our while. But
Is
it's
this
just
John
we're
Sullivan?
happy.
No,
John Sullivan,
Yeah,
he used
okay.
to do the Metal Hammer Awards and things like that. But
He also he thought we were about 20 and 21. I think.
He's like a couple of mad young lads like you.
Mad young lads like you'll be all right. Like
I couldn't believe you had jobs. He's like, you have jobs.
Just move over here. The scene's much better over here. I was like, you can't just leave, but. Oh, he's a legend though. He's sound.
He was dead sound. Good stories and all. Like he's been around the block and he's got Lemmy stories and all. Like he's got a lot of good stories. Good bloke.
So is he looking after you now, or what's going on management wise?
If we sporadically kind of talk to him, he's kind of like he said, "Let me know when you're playing next, and we'll get over. I'll see you in a proper set." Because we ended up playing Standing Calling at like 2:00. It was bright out, and it was like a bit of a shit stage in the middle of nowhere. Like it sounds better. It sounds better, like saying, "Oh, we played Standing Calling." Then it looked like it's going to have a shed somewhere. But it was,
the whole thing ended
it was
up
a kind of a Bedouin tent or something, was it?
Yeah, it was like a tent thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, and they said, like, your man who was booking that stage said, apparently he was the second best bar after the main stage and all. And he said, he'd have us back next year. He dug our act and all.
Yeah.
But he's there. Like, he's managing other bands, and he's a cowboy. Like, he won't mind me saying that. Like, he's involved in loads of stuff, musical and otherwise. So we just keep him updated on the EP and the releases and all, and. Yeah, but we've got nothing concrete though, so we're just hoping to meet up with him again and him see us play in a proper setting. And
it was funny that gig though as well. That tent was like the kind of it was the Sunday of the festival, and it's kind of like the little chill out fucking spot, and they're playing on like chill out like dance music, and everyone was there kind of skagging over after the weekend, and then we'd come on and fucking like I thought we'd clear the place, but we didn't end up clearing the place. Like. Got a good, decent enough crowd.
Yeah, no, a lot of people came up to us afterwards and they're like, I didn't expect to hear something like that.
But there was definitely like one poor chap, like, nah, like.
But there was massive kids sitting right in front of us before we started playing.
There was kids there, and then we have the line, smoke crack and throw bricks at kids.
It was good though. I'm amazed we didn't get any real footage off it just because.
But like, it seemed to fit it in well with your tie print or dye printed jogging bottoms.
The dinosaur pants.
Tie dye.
I lost mine actually.
What? You didn't lose them, did you?
Yeah, the last gig we played, I had to play in jeans and the two boys had their pants. But
how the fuck would you lose those, Paul?
Jeez, I don't know. I'm losing fucking. I'd lose me.
They glow in the dark and all.
I bought a new pair. I'll wish it'll arrive in 3 months, but
Jesus Christ, Daniel, can you imagine now trying to manage these lads like on a European tour?
Lads, I don't know. You're scoundrels. Scoundrels.
The day of that Standing Calling, I just remember Ricky called shotgun in the car straight away, and I just got really travel sick in the back, and as soon as we got there I puked me ring up like.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you finished over in England, what happened then?
The gig got washed out.
The whole thing got called off, cancelled after we played. Like London flooded, like the subway in London and all was flooded. Like everyone was like, it was madness. But yeah, the whole fucking festival called off an hour after we played.
So you got off the stage, right? Took off all your gear. Right.
No, we didn't take it off. We kind of left it on. Yeah.
Left it on, and was it raining at that stage?
No,
but it was starting to thunder and lightning and all. We kind of sensed it coming, and we kind of wanted to get out of there. Like John was like, "Fucking like, would you not stay and go on a mad one?" Because he thought we're like 2021, but we were like, "No, we'll go with you."
John didn't want to drive us to the airport because the airport was a good bit away. So he wanted us to get a taxi, but he offered us to drive us to the airport. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you should stay here. He is sound, but you could tell because when we started driving from the airport, you could see bits of flood and the road started to happen and all that stuff.
Oh,
it rained really bad for like fucking 50 minutes. It seemed like, and the whole place was flooded. Like he had to, like he stopped the car. It was the flood, the rain was that bad. He had to stop the car on the side of the road and all.
Yeah.
So the whole festival got flooded out.
Yeah.
And what bad did you say that Craig David couldn't come on?
Craig David.
Yeah, Craig David never got
Hey,
the
David.
I'm sure he still got his fee.
Bo select that.
Oh.
We were gonna like we were meant to have like a boss select the mask with us, but we just didn't bring it. We brought Queen, the mask of the Queen. We didn't use either.
So basically, you closed out the festival.
Yeah, you closed. You weren't closing next. And he came on at what, 2:00?
2:00.
One thing that was
Put that
actually,
place down.
I feel I have to mention was this was only after England lost in the World Cup to Italy.
Yeah.
And so I was,
no way, that wasn't the same weekend.
It was the week just after, the first week after.
Okay.
So I wanted to go over and like I was going to have my Italian top on.
Jesus
and I was going to be like,
Christ.
yeah. And you know what English people are like, so I might have got lynched or something.
Yes, you would have.
You wouldn't. Everyone there was so sound. We would have just
exactly
looked like we would have just looked like bricks.
Because exactly, would have looked like pricks. It was just like happy families being real supportive.
Yeah, we were expecting football
and all this, and I was like, "What are we going to do? Try and antagonize his mother and her kids?
The nicest people in the world." Like,
your only fans on the day.
Yeah, we were hoping for some hooligans to like throw stuff at us, and I was like, "Oh, everyone here just seems nice and like they don't care about football."
Oh, classic lads, right? That's fucking hell. College radio. Have you targeted it?
I wouldn't say specifically, but I put so many hours a week in just trying to get our music everywhere.
Yeah.
Like on all my like lunch breaks and all. Well, up until maybe kind of recently, I've been just firing it to every single blog, every single even bands that we like. I think that we sound like. I'll be finding our fans on Instagram just. Like, I don't have shame about trying to promote the band. I just DM. I'd be like, "What's the crack, man? I see you're into this band, this band, this band." I was like, "Hopefully, you'll check us out. We're 3-piece from Ireland and all."
Nice.
And we do get like people saying, "Oh, I really dig your sound," and all. From that, like, there's some people who just tell you to fuck off. But like, who cares?
Yeah, no, it's a tough thing to do. And Jesus, if you're doing that, Jeff, respect, man, because you're hitting more walls than doorways. For your music.
The strike rate is horrendous, but like you really have to grind up a follower at a time, like and a listener at a time. And
what would you think, Daniel, with their audience? I think they go down well in America if they could get a lucky break.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think like kind of the London scene, you'd go down really well in London. And you kind of you're in that kind of handy genre where you can play a lot of different festivals. You're not confined to just metal festivals, which is really good. Like, as in you'd go down well at like Reading, Leeds, those type of places as well.
Yeah, we're pretty versatile. Like, even if we were playing a full metal festival, we'd have like a metal set where all the songs would be heavy as fuck. And then like if it was another like standing call, like we have songs like lighter songs like Hug and stuff that we could play.
Yeah, exactly. And you have that kind of, you've more accessible songs as well for that type of audience, which is great. And bringing in the acoustic stuff as well. You're kind of full of surprises too, like, because you don't know what's going to come up next on your EP, which is really good. Like,
Well, that was a big point of the EP was like I kind of feel like it's almost like so far so good so what or something. Some people will get that reference where when you hear T-Cells and then you hear that, it sounds like. I'm not going to say it's not as good as Disenfranchised Fetus, but it feels like it kind of goes like that, and then it shoots up again for Rust in Peace, where there's a lot of experimenting on there, so far so good, so on, and stuff like that. And I feel like we got a lot of stuff out of the way that we needed to do to grow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then
I think so.
Yeah, hopefully. And then on like next year's album, I feel like we've learned a lot. So, and I feel like we're taking the full plunge next year, where it's like that's a heavy, like that's just a pure heavy album.
Yeah, it's pure brute. There's no hug on this album. It's all there's a bit of double bass in it and everything.
So we have a long-term plan, like.
Yeah. Like, you can see the progress, can't you, Daniel? Between, what was it, Degenerate Art and then Disenfranchised Fetus?
Oh, definitely. Like, between Degenerate Art and Disenfranchised Fetus, it's like a big jump. And then this is another kind of step like in another direction. So
Yeah.
I suppose having all that in your arsenal and then going into an album, I think is a really good idea.
I think the album's definitely going to surprise people again. I think.
Yeah. And as well, the fact that you embraced, like, I mean, you didn't shy away from the whole grunge thing with the acoustic stuff as well, which is, I think that you're always saying it, Daniel, there's a market out there for that.
Yeah, definitely a market out there for grunge. And, you know, we see it with Vendetta Love, you know, when we...
the boys, shout to the boys.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah, that was a great trip. Then I was told that they were glam metal, so...
some of they're a bit of a mixture, like they're a bit like that last single they brought was just pure fucking 90s grunge, like they deserve that fucking playlist there, 100%. Like but then the other stuff is kind of like the Load of Soul, like they're savage. We will definitely play with them boys, hopefully.
Yeah, we were getting in touch with them a bit, and but things just didn't work out when we were looking to play with them. But I think they have a lot of promise. Like
great, that'd be great. Even I could see you guys play with Hashmaker actually.
Absolutely.
We played Dirty Casuals, but Hashmaker we want to play with as well.
Yeah, you go down well. That would be a really fun gig.
Okay, I'm going to play a track off the new double EP, and it's called Every Sunday, so we'll give it a listen.
Sounds so ridiculous.
In the world today, but if I haven't the peace, love and understand them. Was it funny? Look to one of the major religions for the answer. One of them must have it. I don't know. Ricky maybe started me off there with the old Catholic Church. Holy guacamole and Ritalin, what? Well, that's outrageous. I suppose it does make me think of the old story about Moses and the lads were in Israel. There's some thunder and lightning, and a booming voice comes from the mountain. And so Moses, being the brave soul he is, went up. He came back down with what's known as the 10 Commandments. You know, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not be adulterous, all that kind of stuff. Swap it at the end though, but that was only for the priest though.
That little riff there is bugging the shit out of me. Where have I heard that before?
I'd hope nowhere, but maybe somewhere.
Where'd you rob that from, Jim?
I can't
tell you what, I was played on a Fender, and we have like a bit of a Stevie Ray Vaughan thing kind of going.
It's I can't. I even when I was listening to it there again the other day, I was just going, Jesus Christ, that's a great piece, but like fucking hell, it just reminds me of something.
That song actually. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The production is fantastic, isn't it, Daniel? Great song.
Yeah,
shout out to Mick Richards.
Yeah, absolutely.
That song, it kind of came together as a joke because I was kind of just like slagging indie one day, sending messages to the lads, and they're like, "Oh, that was kind of cool. We're just going to stick with that," and then we just kind of just kept going. That's how a lot of our songs is going. You jam one riff, and then normally I'll just keep going, and then I'll like send it to Rennick, and I'll be like, "Oh, ignore the second half of that. I was just jamming." He's like, no, that's pretty cool. And I end up keeping it.
Yeah, that's sure. Look, I mean, fuck it. Some of the best songs result in something like that that you don't throw away, and other band members will spot it for what it is, you know.
We
I
are
really like the
planning
second
it.
half of Fluoride, like
Really?
the second half of Fluoride, because like only just had that main riff, but it was in my dad's like he's like a shed out the back, and I just kept jamming on it. And I kind of just sent Randy Gall to like 5 or 6 minutes or whatever. I was messing around. I was like, I ignore the second half. I'm just going to come up with something there, and then he kind of sent back drums over it.
You never said ignore the second half. It was
I
just
kind of said like I jammed the second half, like I'm not
no,
like
he
attached to it. Like.
sounds shit. And then like I'll put the drums for them and the drums blah blah blah, and they'll be like, oh, he'll change it up, and it's like, no, play how you sent it. It was perfect.
Yeah, the old directorial thing is coming out in Paul there.
Lars Wennick.
Yeah. So the track listing is every Sunday, but you just heard Dr. Smile. That was released. Was that released as a single?
We released a lot of most of it as singles already.
Yeah, Fuck the American Dream. Now, Art School Grand Tours. Tell me about that.
Well, I was reading Chris Connolly's book, rereading it for some reason. I think I was just chasing like light reading. Chris Connolly was like, he was in ministry and revolving.
I was just going to
Cocks.
say, is that to do with out of ministry? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, it was just a line he used, and I kind of dug it. And yeah, just have a bit of bitterness to like, obviously, like, we're you know, trying to become successful and get the attention of like Irish mainstream media and all that. And as you probably know yourself, they don't really cover, like, they don't cover rock basically.
Yeah.
Like they cover indie, and they say, what are you talking about? We cover rock, what would be indie. And
man, we got one for the team when I appeared on Clareburn, though.
yeah, you did, absolutely, yeah.
I'm telling you.
Educating the masses.
Yeah, man, Slayer, Angel of Death, who would have thought on Radio 1.
And you managed to get Ian Phil with us. What did he say?
Yeah.
I think he said fuck or something.
Oh, there was plenty of language in that, and
yeah.
it's fucking classic. Yeah, go on, Jeff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of just, I do just kind of get frustrated that like I'd hope all the other metal bands apply for the same opportunities we do. I know they did.
You're breaking up again, man.
Oh, he's okay. I can hear him. Yeah.
I was just saying, I hope like this, because like last year there was a lot of music grants. And Michael Richards said he did like 16 invoices for bands, and he said none of them got approved for the grant. But like all the indie bands got the grants. And,
yeah. It's all nepotism, like.
And then even like Ireland Music Week was on there last week, which is you get 500 quid to play it, and you get like an international audience of people from Sony and all that. And there wasn't one rock on the band on that either, except for By Curious, yeah.
Yeah, I've had By Curious on the show.
Yeah, no, I really like By Curious. But you can kind of see the door just feels like it's closed to air bands, and even I've gone to all the like industry stuff. I went to Music Cork in 2019 and all. To try and, you know, draw their attention to like the underground and all, and say there is like people going to these gigs, and, you know, they buy merch and they listen to music passionately, you know. But it just kind of feels like it's all rap and indie, and it's just hard to get a look. It's just frustrating. That's what that was really about.
Yeah. You know, a band there that just came into my mind there, especially with your lyrics as well, and you're not a million miles away from them, is The Scratch.
Oh, yeah.
We've actually applied to support them. That's a big thing we do, is try and chase support acts. Like, I'm flat out doing that. And they're playing soon in the Olympia, the Tree Olympia. And I was hoping to try and support them actually. I forward them an email.
Yeah, because that sense of humour through the lyrics, Daniel, you can hear it, can't you, in both?
You can, yeah. Just Scratcher are great, like.
Well, hopefully they're listening.
Yeah, geez, their cover of Aerials was fucking.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unreal, like, yeah.
And as I said, look, they came from being a metal band called Red Enemy, and
I remember.
Right.
So it just goes to show they changed the music, and then they start getting all these doors opening in front of them. Now, that's it as well. They're absolutely fantastic. They deserve everything they get, you know. But
absolutely. Yeah.
But there is definitely kind of a favoritism going on, certainly, and metal and rock are completely ignored unless strangers with guns apply for the Eurovision and no better boys to fuck it up over in somewhere like
love that,
Iceland or wherever the hell. But who won it? Oh, Italy. There you go, lads. That's what I want you know. After this interview, this is your fucking task to try and represent Ireland, man.
Challenge. Let's do them.
I'd be up for that, yeah.
And get over to fucking Italy. Submit a song for the Eurovision.
We had a fucking turkey go over, so you can surely manage it.
Go on, Daniel.
Unplugged is a pretty good album, you know. Shout out to Dustin. Unplugged is a good album.
Oh, you could, yeah.
Oh, man, so like as I said, yeah, it is completely in favor of indie and trad and shit like that. So,
well, I was just trying to draw their attention and say, look, there is stuff happening here. You can go to these venues, there'll be good crowds there and there'll be passionate crowds and all that. But it just feels like even on Ireland Music Week that was online this year, and I was just bombarded on questions in almost like advertising the band, because every time you ask a question, your name's just stuck on the screen. And yeah, it'd just be good if, like, I don't know if the other metal bands really have commercial aspirations, or if they do, but they want to go through like the UK route, because people advise that like you kind of have to skip Ireland, you have to make it big somewhere else and then come back.
Yeah, Joe would be a big advocate of that, wouldn't he, Daniel?
He would, yeah, definitely. And sure, even like, and they were even like a mainstream band, but like the Cranberries made it big in America before they made it big in Ireland, which is insane.
Like historically, every Irish band had to either make it big in England or America.
Yeah.
Then the Irish public respect them.
Yeah. Even like Primordial, like they're so
perfect example.
And it's like they just can't make money here. It's crazy. And like as you said, like metal bands make so much money from merch. Like it's in like you guys compared to an indie band, you think that's where they put the money into, like where fans are passionate, fans will pay the money. Even I think Richie's keeping
It's funny what you're saying about Primordial, because there's a podcast, Damnation Versus. I don't know if you heard it.
Bloodstock, isn't it?
Well, I think that's what he added that on later on. But I know he interviewed Alan from Primordial, and he said he's never been offered an Irish festival, and they played the tens of thousands in like different countries and Czech Republic and all. They've never been offered one Irish festival.
What Irish festivals are there?
Siege.
They get people
The Nils played Knockenstock 1 year. Dead Label played Knockenstock 1 year. Actually, that's one. But
Knockenstock is one that actually does give bands a shot. Like,
I
think Grey Stag played there as well.
They did. There was a load of bands played there. Baylor,
Evan played there as well.
Zora.
Yeah.
That's gone as well, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
I say it'd be back.
They took I know they took a year off, but I don't know if they came back after it though.
They were supposed to come back, and then what happened? You know.
No.
Yeah, and that's another problem, isn't it? Just even for the likes of you trying to get a gig somewhere now, there's such a limitation on what options you have. We
were kind of planning on a bit of a break, because we were flat out during the pandemic. Like, so we were kind of planning a little break, even though shit was supposed to be open up. But
yeah, we wanted to go flat out during the pandemic when everyone else was taking a break. Because, you know, I kind of like that thing. It's like Black Flag did it when everyone's trying to play faster, and then they just slowed everything down. It's like do the opposite to what everybody else is doing. So when nobody's releasing music, go flat out, and then when everyone else starts doing it,
we had to though, because we were like a brand new band. Like we formed in 2019, then the pandemic happened, so we kind of just had to like keep working and bringing out shit during it, like. And we just got lucky with timing for recording and stuff as well. And being able
there was still a gap there. Like we could have sat in the music, but we're like, nobody else is releasing really, so let's get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, some bands will benefit from that. I mean, are you watching, we'll say, your YouTube and Spotify audience?
Yeah,
to them,
Definitely, we're definitely trying to push our YouTube anyway. Subscribe if you're watching.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the videos definitely help. Like, there's only so much you can do again. Just fucking do playthroughs. Everybody seems to be doing it. Like, come up with something new. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're planning a few skits. We're planning to get back to the skits and that shit. And we have a few music. American Dream, we will release that. And then for Sunday, we plan a bit of a controversial video.
Maybe you could just start with G kind of coming out of the crashed car and moving on to the next fucking dilemma with fucking Stranger with Guns.
I kind of think that, like, for bands in certain genres and all, they really have to write like an Enter Sandman or Smells Like Teen Spirit to just break through, like be so undeniably brilliant. Because I don't think you can just be good in certain genres. I think you have to really do something ridiculously amazing.
And luck. Have the luck as well.
Oh yeah, you definitely need luck. You need to be the right time and all that. Like
yeah, it is frustrating. But I mean, we are on an island, so we're limited to what we do, and I think we can, like, I think for the majority of Irish bands that are out there, metal bands and bands like yourself, you're representing the scene with your quality releases. It is attracting attention from outside. I mean, there's record labels like Wormhole Death coming in now, and they've snapped up 2 bands straight away, which is Foreign Wolf and Haint is 2 examples.
Oh,
they were on your show a couple of weeks ago, weren't they, Haint?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I mean, there is interest from the outside. It's just like you really have to have a really good product. You know,
need money behind you. I heard Haynes kind of talking, like alluding to that. I was like, you need financial backing to do certain things. Like I know, like a lot of the music managers say to break a band, you need like to invest 100,000 in them.
Jesus, I don't think that's fucking feasible.
No, it's not. That's why it feels like such an uphill battle sometimes. It's as good as you're doing, like, because like, so when people see your mini successes and you've got that good show at the Button Factory and like your streams are going up and all that, I was like, there is a ton of behind the scenes work. Like there's so many emails, there's so many things like that. Like, so it's a slow grind. It's a really slow grind.
It is a slow grind. Daniel, any solutions for the lads?
Rob a bank. I don't know.
We thought that.
Do you see the guy that? Do you see that guy that like forged documents to get a mortgage? So you could do that and just mortgage your band.
Well, Jeff's just been going through trying to get a mortgage, so
that's
a whole different
Sorry for your troubles, Jeff. Sorry for your troubles.
I'm in the same boat, Jeff. It's absolutely horrific.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah.
Grown up stuff, lads.
I know.
Yeah.
Imagine you're on the fucking rat race now, as I call it. Jesus Christ. So plans for 2022. You have a plan in place for this album, and how successful do you think you will be in kind of getting gigs for next year even?
Well, next year I feel good about. Like this Become a Pope is out on the 26th of November, but then like we're not really going to get to play and really promote that the way things are looking. Which, you know, I'm not too torn up about, but I would be about next year because so we want to release a single in February and we want to do the album around June or July. So we're gonna look to get a serious venue. We're gonna look to get serious bands with us on the bill and all that. Because you can play too much as well, and there is the optics for all the people that are like the industry people where you don't really want to be playing a load of like little gigs and then hope to draw like, I don't know, like 150 people to a gig or something like that when you've just played like, you know, Fibber 6 weeks ago or something like that. So you do have to take a break before trying to put on a big gig where people haven't seen you in a couple of months or something like that. So I'm trying to, it's very, you have to think
you overthink it.
Maybe I do, yeah.
Yeah, just fucking get as many gigs as you can. That'd be my advice.
We did that flat out in 2019. We played anywhere and everywhere. Like we went all over Ireland, but it's kind of
as Dave Grohl said it. You know, just get in a fucking van and do it, man. You know, just fucking hit the likes of Kerry and Waterford.
Yeah, We haven't played Galway yet. That's the place we want to play.
Jesus, there you go. There's another example of a great spot there.
Oh, we have played the North, yeah.
And the North, yeah. But again, that's, you know, you might have to play the likes of Derry and other places rather than, like Belfast probably is suffering the same problem as Cork is, as Dublin, as Limerick is. There's too many bands trying to get into one or two or three venues. So
we were chatting a bit with Pure Sonic Outcasts about doing some kind of gig shop thing. But
shout out to the lads.
Absolutely, but they messaged us literally the first day we decided we are taking a break. So I was like, lads, we're on a break. Like we had to turn down a gig, we had to turn down 2 gigs, and then they came in. I was just like, it was just really bad time, unfortunately.
Yeah, but like we'll get them boys down.
Oh, we will, yeah, we'll absolutely hook them up with something down here.
Yeah. Merch wise, I always have to ask this question. Anything incoming?
No, you kind of look after the.
Yeah, we always have merch. There's Stranger Guns Teespring.com.
It goes into full sales mode.
Yeah, we have cups and all, don't we?
Yeah, we have cups with Jeff in space. Well, see, we have Teespring. We have Teespring because there's no overhead. Like there's kind of print on demand, which I don't think a lot of bands are on, and a lot of people don't really trust yet. The Teespring, like they kind of before just like buying them off you through Bandcamp and all, but it's working out alright.
Well, what's the shirt with Ricky on it? The kids say, what does that say again?
I made it. I know I got rid of that now. I made like Ricky's mom wanted to buy a t-shirt for his niece, so it's just basically a picture of Ricky looking stoned off his bin and stuff. But then he didn't even show it to her. He was like, she was messing, but fine t-shirt.
Teespring is good though. There's no overheads.
Yeah.
Many bands have like no money and they're looking for somewhere to do merch.
So what is the idea of it? You just put up an image of it and then you can get it printed on demand. Is that
basically,
it?
Yeah. More bands should get on it. It's like no overhead because we got stuck with a load of t-shirts before that we couldn't sell and cost.
I have a lot of terrible t-shirts that I just kind of wear the gym. We didn't sell one, like, and nobody told me it was terrible. And I'm looking at them now and I'm like, that's so bad.
Yeah. And then you just slag my designs, my nice fashionable designs.
Yeah, lads. Look, the double EP is brilliant. I think it is. There's a great selection of songs on it, man, and will appeal to many. I just hope you get the chance to tour it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, we'd love like a little UK tour, or German tour, or something next year. Like, we try do something like that if we could.
Yeah, just get a week together and get a van and fuck off to Germany and make sure you get somebody to fucking document it, please.
We'll do it ourselves, we'll be alright.
I can imagine them turning up at a gig with there's only 3 of them, but 2 of them be missing.
Yeah.
Jeff doing a solo.
That used to happen in Favours,
Yeah.
Like, where's the boys? And Ricky be coming in with a pack of Haribo. We disappeared to get jellies and came back an hour later.
Brilliant, lads. Look, thanks for coming on the show.
Cheers for having us.
I love Champion Yeet. You're a great bunch, and fucking in fairness, your output is brilliant. And myself and Danielle have had a listen now to the double EP, and we love it, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
So when is it coming out, Jeff?
26th of November.
26th November, lads. Keep that in mind. So thanks again to Jeff and Paul. Danielle, much appreciated for coming on as well.
Cheers.
So you've been listening to the Metal Set podcast. Support your local metal scene and take care, everybody.